What's up? Welcome in. Happy Monday on the CHGO Bears Podcast, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download the app. Use promo code CHGO when you sign up. What's going on, Bears fans? Adam Hoge, Corey Wootton, Mark Carman with you on a Monday edition. We got a lot to talk about, boys.
Oh, boy, do we.
Thank God Woot's here. Thank God. We need some NFL experience level to dissect what's going on here on a lot of levels.
A lot of red pen, right?
Oh, a lot of red pen.
On field, off field. Yeah. On field, off field. We got both.
How was he yesterday with Braggs? Was he here?
He was here. He left at 3 minutes into the show to go vomit. I thought that was a little unfortunate.
Oh.
That's not a joke. Seeing Justin Fields on the cart made him physically ill.
It was potentially a vertigo, so.
Oh, yeah, but it's a better story if he saw Justin Fields on a cart.
Yeah, that's true.
I thought he was supposed to be the toughest guy. He took a brick to the head, and he's letting vertigo affect him. Braggs, come on, man.
Wow. This is a good start to the show. I like it.
I was watching, too.
I mean, I was feeling guilty yesterday because he walked off the set. I'm like, where the hell is he going? And he has like a real issue. Then I felt bad about it. But you just went there, so now.
No, I don't know. I got to give him a hard time because, he claims to be the toughest guy out there.
Yep. Yeah.
And, I don't know, tough guys, they don't let vertigo give them down, right? No, hope you feel better, man.
He was having hot flashes and just walked off the set. Hey, that's what Bears football will do to you sometimes. Welcome in, and especially you diehards out there, CHGO diehards. If you haven't had a chance to check out our diehard membership level, check it out. CHGO, allchgo.com/diehard. There's a couple reasons you're going to want to be a member this week alone. One of those is tomorrow night, Woot and I are going to have a virtual happy hour with the diehards. We'll be popping up on a Zoom. Just talking, whatever you guys want to ask, talk about. It's going to be very informal. It's not going to be like a show and a little extra access. Carm, you going to jump on for a little bit? You don't have to.
I don't want to rain on this parade. You two are like these two right now. I just got to tell everybody, this is a budding football love affair here. There's a film thing coming out later today that you want to see. They've got the Zoom virtual tomorrow night. I'm just going to come and hang out. 8 o'clock tomorrow night, right?
Yeah, Carman. I don't think they want you to actually talk. I think Adam would.
Right? No.
Muted,
I'm good.
Listen. Watch.
Tuesday nights. Let me check my schedule. Yeah, I'm not doing anything.
No Kirschenbaums or
no Kirschenbaum match.
No, the final with Cooper is on Friday morning at 8 a.m. Come on out. Let's go.
And then we're gonna have a breakdown of two of the plays in the game that we're giving you our weekly breakdowns, really looking into what goes on, the one touchdown and then the kickoff return. Yeah. So you guys will be in for a treat. We're going to put it on the Reels and Twitter, so we'll have that out there.
Yeah, check that out. Actually, as soon as this show's over, that should be up on Twitter at CHGO_Bears_sports. Check all that out. And you may have heard this sale that, I don't know when it was invented, that thing called Black Friday. We'll have a Black Friday sale for you, but here's the thing. If you're a member, if you're a diehard member, then you get 20% off all merchandise on top of the Black Friday sale. So if you're looking for that QB slide shirt, which we just restocked yesterday. We have the new hockey shirt that went out last night in commemorative of number 81.
Yeah. The legendary shirt for a certain guy who went in the rafters.
Is it flooding Carman shirt?
All right. Okay.
Oh yeah. I see the short socks.
That's messed up. By the way, I'm wearing the designer today, and for the record,
your ankles are showing again. Look, we got to talk about.
Oh wow,
they're showing, and you need to moisturize a little bit, man.
Where's that moisturizer? Yeah. Later we're gonna plug it.
First of all, the ankles are not showing. They're showing over here. On screen, we're good.
We got Ashley Larry over here. The Chappelle Show. Come on, man.
Hey, okay. I'm uncomfortable. I didn't even realize I was going short sock today. Monday mornings, everybody should
45 degrees out. It's like spring again.
It felt good this morning.
Yeah. We need that one, and then we need the brick by brick one. I think the fans would appreciate that, right?
I was out the door at 6 o'clock to go over to your Fox 32.
So early, you didn't even know how.
I really didn't.
You were in here at like 7. I'm really impressed.
I was here pre-7. I got here at 6:50 this morning.
Man.
That's pretty good.
Talk about discipline, right?
Hey man, he puts in the work.
Did you happen to clean?
It's amazing how much work I put in and what little comes out. But I'm here. But I'm here, baby.
Look at me. I'm repping soccer today. Got the World Cup vibes going.
There you go.
USA Wales coming up here in a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't want to change the whole thing, but this is way too happy of a show. Yesterday was the worst day of the season. You two are way too smiley. Can we hear from sad Justin Fields?
You want to go sad Justin Fields?
I do.
Okay, we could do that.
Okay, hold on.
But you really think it was the worst game of the season?
By a million miles.
You
Really?
think so?
Did you see the Washington game?
The only thing that matters is the quarterback, and they got the quarterback hurt. That's all that matters. I'm not saying it was the game itself, but like
strong point there. And regardless of the results, the last thing you want to see is some coaching negligence at the end of the game where the quarterback gets hurt.
Yeah, and so then this morning I'm sitting here at 6:40 in the morning or whatever, and I pop on Justin Fields. Actually, I didn't watch it till later. But then I've never seen the QB look this sad. I mean, this is some really sad quarterback trying to handle the fact that he went back to his hometown, should have won, could have won, didn't win, and now is hurt. Can we hear it? And watch it. Yeah, I want sad Justin Fields.
They're still looking into further detail.
Justin, how did you enter that? Was that an aside?
Yeah, it was the first play of the last drive.
Can you walk us through kind of what happened?
I don't even know what happened, to be honest with you. I think I just landed on it or something like that. So, yeah, I was just hurting after that.
Prior to that, there were times it looked like you were stretching out your hamstrings.
Yeah, I was cramping pretty much the whole fourth quarter, so just fighting through cramps and stuff like that.
I mean, we don't have to do much more because we've been.
You get the point. He's sad, and
I mean, look at how sad he
he's
looks.
just
Look at how
sad.
quiet he is. I mean,
all right. So let's
terrible.
Let's address this because for whatever reason, there's been like this weird argument that's developed, in the sports radio world. I feel like, especially where, I don't know. There are people who are saying Justin Fields needs to win or getting attacked, and the other side of it is that it doesn't matter. They don't have to win at all. I think both can be true, right?
100%.
So listen, if you want to go at Danny Parkins, let's go. That's my guy.
Well, Danny, I love Danny. I don't think he's coming after me. I did make one comment last week about how winning could be beneficial for the quarterback. I'm not in the camp of
he would agree with that.
He has to win.
He would agree
where
with
I am on this is just like, look, can Justin Fields go to the Hall of Fame if they don't win another game this year? Sure. Definitely possible. He can still develop. He doesn't have to win by any means. Yeah. Would it certainly help to put one of these fourth quarter drives together in the last 2 minutes to feel the taste of victory, to not be all sad in the post-game press conference? That certainly wouldn't hurt anything either. I mean, they can both be true at the same time.
His post-game lasted 3 minutes and 58 seconds, and it felt like it was 3 hours and 58 minutes.
Very somber.
It was short after short answer, after sad face, after no, I haven't seen my family because I was actually in there getting x-rayed, and then I had an IV because I was dehydrated. Apparently it was hot in the dome, and he hadn't prepared properly for that. And then it was, by the way, I don't know why Luke Getsy
maybe because they were practicing in the freezing cold all week.
Right?
That's a question I have for you.
We had addressed that on the After Dark.
Yeah.
Lovey used to practice outside like almost exclusively, right?
Yeah.
So, but if you had a game where you're heading down south,
or Minnesota, right, when they played in the dome.
Where it's in a dome, did he adjust the practice schedule, or are you still out there in the
1,000%. Like, if we played in the dome, we're inside in the bubble. Like,
the whole week?
The whole week. Like,
see, that's why I don't
understand. You practice what you're going to do, right? If you're going to Green Bay, you're gonna practice outside all week. Or if we're playing at home, you're going to practice outside. I just didn't understand that, right? Because in the cold, right, if you practice there and you get nicked up or you get a helmet on the elbow, all of a sudden that gets worse, being outside in the cold and the elements. And my thing is you have to get used to what you're doing. So I didn't understand that at all. It's like one of those things like, sometimes old linemen don't wear sleeves. They get mad if you wear sleeves just because you're trying to prove a point. My thing is you have to do what's comfortable and what you're gonna face in the game. I didn't understand that.
So just a minute on Eberflus, if we may. Okay, and I think we all think that Matt Eberflus has the capabilities to be a good head coach in the NFL. We're not down on the hire, right? Yeah. Maybe it wasn't the best hire. Maybe Brian Dable would have been a little more exciting, but nobody's out on the Flus, right?
No one's out. I have some questions.
Okay, right. So we got some questions, but we're not out.
That I'm going to be trying to race up to Hal's Hall to ask in a little bit.
We're going to end the show right before 1. Hoge's going to go up there and dominate a press conference, which I'm very excited for. But so, There's something about the hits principle that maybe needs a U, but maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Urgency. Can we play Matt Eberflus? Because I swear to you, if you watch the first 2 minutes of Flus, did they win the Super Bowl yesterday or win a football game? Because this is one happy dude. This is the exact opposite of what Justin Fields was. This dude is just straight happy. Here he comes to address everybody. Another miserable loss. Your quarterback's injured, and here comes Flus.
I thought it was good. I thought we played some really good football starting the game there. Obviously the takeaways we had, the one that we had on punt was a really good, caused fumble by DHC. Then Jack recovered it. I think that was we threw the challenge flag there and got the challenge, which was really good from information upstairs. So that was outstanding.
Outstanding.
And then we had another takeaway.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
really good. They broke out a run there, caused fumble by Brisker, recovered. By 33. Jalen did a nice job there and a nice return by him. We capitalized on that and got a TD from that one.
We can stop it, but I mean,
in fairness, he did go on to also talk about the bad things that happened.
But not really.
It was a heck of an opening statement.
He went on for 2 minutes of mostly just throwing flowers. And it's true. We do need to figure out how to win at some point.
Yeah. Oh, good news first and then bad news, right? Yeah. Like, what do you want to hear first?
Dude, I guess. I get it that your quarterback is sad. I get it that your locker room is sad and you're trying to stay upbeat through this. But, I mean, there should be some level of connectivity between how you're feeling and how the players are feeling. Am I missing something here?
Yeah, I think he's trying to be positive and keep the locker room engaged. I think that's the biggest thing at this point, because if you start talking negative and then it feeds into the negativity of the potential locker room.
So you like it? You actually like it?
So as a player, right? You know in the meetings and stuff, he's getting after some people and he's letting them know. But to the media, it's like one of the things. Like as a coach, you don't ever want to really throw your guys under the bus. But I know behind closed doors, he's definitely corrected them, letting them know what's going on. But I think he's just trying to have that positive vibe. So, like, hey, listen, with the media, he's got our back. I know we're really not doing what we're supposed to do, but he's got our back, because if he goes up there and is negative the whole time, guys, all of a sudden when you start losing, guys are like, man, F this guy, F this. And then all of a sudden you start to lose the locker room. So I get what you're saying, Carm, but this is his first year here, and right now it really is a true rebuild. We kind of thought they would win some more games here and there, but really what the season has been about is Justin Fields.
I mean, I don't think his press conference matter a whole lot. I'll say that, okay? But I'll also say this, like, he doesn't have to – he could do – and I don't want him to be Bill Belichick at all. That drives me nuts. But he could be a little bit closer to that as far as, like, not throwing anybody under the bus, but sort of at least have the temperament of what's going on. It just it was to me, it just felt bizarre.
You understand what I'm getting at?
I do.
Just to keep the locker room engaged, because if you start going over there saying we're really not a good football team, we have a lot of things we got to do, and you're just negative the whole time. All the guys are watching that, and they're like, all of a sudden you lose the locker room in your first year, and guys are like,
you can't afford to do that.
And then they're not out there playing. The one good thing, right? Yeah. Regardless of how bad thing, they're fighting the whole game. That's the one good thing, and I think that's the mark of Eberflus, that he has the locker room, right? Because in this situation, most teams would crumble right now. They wouldn't be playing as hard as they can every game. Discipline and a couple things here or there, they're not doing. But as far as effort and things like that, for the most part, it's all there.
Maybe he does, but I'm not 100% certain that he completely has that locker room.
You don't think so?
I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. The Jalen Johnson thing was a little bit wonky. He's out there, and there's no excuses. And then you ask Jalen about it, he's like, well, I don't think that decision's just on me. I mean, I think that's a whole team thing. Yeah. And then you got the Tevin situation where he's like, well, Tevin told me that he could just be a backup. So that's why he was active but didn't play. Well, now Tevin Jack is going to have to answer some questions about that. Hey, dude, were you just not tough enough to be out there? You were tough enough to be, like that's a little bit.
Do you think he kind of learned from the Jalen Johnson situation? Like, hey, I'll have him in worst case scenario, if we need him.
Right.
But this is the bigger picture, and I think that might have been a learning experience for him with the Jalen Johnson, how they handled that situation. So that's why I think that.
Okay, and then the other thing is you're practicing outside. Guys don't want to practice outside. It's freezing outside. You're playing in a dome. Yeah. Like, I'm not sure.
That's the part I don't understand about.
Like, I'm not.
I'll be honest, Carman. I don't have any problem with the post-game press conference. When I first turned it on, I was like, oh, this is really positive. But then he did go on to talk about all the bad things, too. He actually explained exactly who was at fault. If you listened to it, he told you who was at fault on the kick return. Which was one of the plays we broke down. Yeah. You'll see it on social media soon.
He was still smiling through who was at fault on the kick return, but that's fine. Okay,
I don't care if he was smiling or not. What I care about is I do think the practicing outside.
Was dumb.
This was not. Yeah, it was not a. Monday morning quarterback thing that we're doing here. We all questioned this last week. Yeah. You were in the locker room on Wednesday. You came up to me in the locker room and you were like, yo, low key, I don't think the players liked that they practiced outside today.
No, they hated it.
It was really funny that you did that.
They were literally like, is this guy kidding me? Like they were 100% going around like, yo, we're playing in a dome this week. I understand if we were playing a cold weather place or home, but like why? And especially at this point in the season, even when you play outside a lot of times, coaches are like, listen, let's take care of our players. And, if we were winning some games, it might be different. If we're playing an outdoor team, they might go in the practice area inside, if they're winning and everything's going well. So I could get that. But, I just don't understand that.
Well, and here's the thing. Like, if you're going to do that and try to, we're being tough, we're this cold football team, blah, 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 you better not have your quarterback cramping up in the fourth quarter because he hasn't played in a warm weather environment in weeks. Because look at it. I mean, they went, I don't have a schedule in front of me. Let's see if we can do this in reverse. Lions at home. It was colder. Dolphins at home. What was before that? We had then they were in.
It was the third.
Cowboys. I honestly do not know off the top of my head if that roof was open because it closes on the top.
Yeah.
That would be similar to Atlanta, I guess, if it was closed. But it's been a few weeks. Look, if you're going to do that, my only point is you can't have the quarterback cramping up in the fourth quarter, needing an IV post game. And then, if you are going to have him cramping up, why are you running with him on the last drive when the clock's running down if he's cramping the whole fourth quarter?
Yeah, I didn't get that. And I don't think people realize how tough it is sometimes to play in a dome. They got the heat kicking in there. There's a lot of people in there. And it actually is a lot hotter than you think. You're like, oh, it's a pretty neutral environment. No, it gets hot in the dome.
And it was apparently cold in Atlanta yesterday too, so they would have been pumping the heat.
Yeah, so I think people sleep on how hard it is to play in a dome.
So that's what he meant when he was saying it was cold down there. That's so they were pumping the heat. Yep.
And then you got all the fans in there. It's a different atmosphere.
Yep. That was not well thought out. That's
not at all. Like I don't understand like if it was like let's be tough guys, let's be this Tommy tough guy. We're gonna practice outside. We don't need to go inside. We're gonna show them how tough we are. But
we're
like it's all about like common sense in that situation. So I think a lot of it is like his first year as a head coach. He's still trying to figure out things. With the Jalen Johnson, I was kind of critical of it, but now I'm thinking about it like there's so many moving parts, and this is his first time, kind of managing everything. I think he learned from that, and that's why the Tevin Jenkins thing, that's why he had them back there. So I don't think it was a thing like – I think he was like Tevin Jenkins could probably go in this situation if we were shooting for the playoffs, if these games really mattered as far as wins or losses. But I think he's like, I'm worried about the future of him, and I didn't do that with Jalen Johnson. So I think that's just a learning experience.
But that doesn't make sense, right? If you are only good enough to be a backup and you've had injury history and you've dealt with back issues, why are you active? Why wouldn't he be inactive?
Yeah, I disagree. They're so thin at guard right now. Tevin went through pregame warmups. He says, "Look, coach, I feel like I can tough this out, but maybe only in an emergency situation." That stuff happins all the time in football. It's not really black and white.
If they have more depth, then I could understand him just being inactive in that situation.
This is exactly what we talked about last week. The trainer can clear you. That doesn't mean you're the best person out there or it's worth the risk.
Exactly.
There's way more to the calculus than just a trainer going, yep, he's good to go, thumbs up, thumbs down. It's football, man. It's much more complicated.
I mean, nowadays it's so complicated because back in the day, it would just be like this. Like, you would play hurt. Like, that was the thing. Like, guys would be 70%, 60%. But they go out there and gut it out because ultimately, right, they didn't want anyone taking their job or stealing their shine. They're like, hey, if I can be on the field, I might not be 100%, but I'm going to be out there and gut it. And nowadays, the philosophy is like this. Depending on the situation, right, if you're not 100%, we're going to shut you down.
Me personally, I would rather see Ja'Tyre Carter out there at 100% versus Tevin at 60 or whatever he was at. That's and now I might want to take that back if Ja'Tyre Carter's out there and he gets blown up and Justin Fields gets killed. We haven't seen it. I don't know, but your deal that Tevin Jenkins is a key part of this football team. Yeah. And I don't know if there's any miraculous way to get him to be fully healthy going forward because he's dealt with a lot. But I would certainly be shooting for that if I was the Bears because you need that guy.
Yeah, no, he's definitely going to be a key piece for the offensive line. And like I think like he reminds me a lot of like Kyle Long, but just a little nastier, right? Like old school nasty. Like Kyle Long, he has the athleticism like him, the strength like him, but Tevin Jenkins is just nasty, like old school. Push you after the play, somebody hits Justin Fields, he's running to try to blow him up. You ain't doing that. So that's the type of guy you want on your team, and it's the one you hate going against, but you love when he's on your team.
Yeah. I like what Tevin's done so far, and I also think you got to factor in the back.
Yeah,
think about the key. Back. Now we got a hip going. Are those connected? They could be.
Well, think about a back injury for a wide receiver that's 180, 190, 200 pounds, and a guy like Tevin Jenkins that's 320.
Who's taking bull rushes.
It's a lot, trying to anchor up. You're in different positions. So that back, as a bigger guy, same thing with like a knee or a hip, it's a lot different, with all the weight and impact on there.
Right.
Okay, I feel slightly.
You feel better?
I do. I got a little bit of.
Man, he woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Like, I hate the Eberflus. You're too happy.
Like, you guys are. He's coming after us. You guys are too smiley.
Yeah, there's look, we got a whole off season. We could smile all the way through it. This was a very nauseating. Yeah. I mean, we ended the football game with the dude lying on his back. That big actor. Hey, go out there and do another run.
Let's get to that here in a second. First, we got to take a quick break. Want to tell you about Shady Rays, because Shady Rays never understood why sunglasses were so damn expensive. And they said, we're going to change that. And you do not have to break the bank for quality sunglasses, because there is Shady Rays. They have premium polarized shades featuring world-class optical clarity, durability, and styles catered to everyone and every lifestyle. And the best part about Shady Rays is they have the most insane protection program in all of eyewear. If you lose or break your shades on day one, they told us that they will send you a brand new pair, no questions asked. Drop them in a lake, throw them off a cliff, whatever you want to do with them, they will replace them. And even with that strong of a protection program, they still manage to make quality that I can tell you are just as good as any expensive pair out there. Shady Rays customers agree with over 200,000 five-star reviews. Shady Rays also provides 10 meals to fight hunger in America with every order placed, and have donated over 20 million meals to date. This is exclusive for our listeners. Shady Rays is running their deepest deal of the season. Use code CHGO for 50% off 2 or more pairs at shadyrays.com. Buy one, get one free. You can get 2 pairs for as low as $54. Redeem only at shadyrays.com, where you can find all their newest and best shades.
If you're ever wondering how to best recover and you're maybe going a little bit off the board and you're wondering why the CBD is not working particularly well, you need to make the move. It puts a big smile on my face. It's getting me ready for Cooper on Friday. Next Evo Naturals. I've been dealing with an Achilles injury. I rub the cream on there. I take the pill. I go out. I get through the semifinals. Don't.
You need to rub some on those ankles.
I do need a little more cream on the ankles right now. I hear your head's in the wrong spot. It's the Smart Sorb technology. It's clinically proven, Woot. It helps your body absorb the CBD 4 times better than the regular CBD. You want it? I'm telling you, Next Evo Naturals. I would not be winning this tennis league without my friends over at Next Evo Naturals. I want to thank them to the end of the earth. Don't settle for less. Get your supply of Next Evo Naturals. Revive the CBD complex today. Gummies, capsules, mints, they got it all. 25% off when you subscribe and spend $40 or more. $40 or more. NextEvo.com, NextEvo.com/recover. Promo code BEARS. NextEvo.com/recover. Promo code BEARS. You will be thinking of me, and you'll be happy, and you'll be recovered. Creams, pills, all of it. I love it. Let's go. Let's go.
Don't leave me hanging, man.
It's my people at Next Evo.
There we go.
You guys have both done that to each other today with the hanging thing. All right. Yes. Sometimes we say things on the post-game show, and then you go home and you sleep on them, and then you might feel a little different in the morning after watching the tape. Like that stuff happens. I was upset about the last sequence of offensive plays yesterday. Nothing that was said post-game made me feel any better about it. In fact, it made me feel worse when you see sad Justin Fields and how much pain he's in, and I'm cramping up and I need an IV. Creates even more questions about why the hell they're running him on first and second down, especially second down after he suffers a shoulder injury. Like, hello, is anyone paying attention here? He just hurt his shoulder. Why are you running him again up the middle to take another unnecessary shot? But then, on top of that, I'm watching the film this morning. The dude was balling out as a quarterback on the drive before.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, legitimately, 3rd down and 3. Stands there in the pocket, scans the field, left, right. Probably his 4th read by the time he got to Chase Claypool to the right. Picked up 6 yards. 1st down. Really good quarterbacking on that play. Now you get another 3rd and 3. 3 plays later. He makes a great pre-snap read. We actually talked about this on the post-game show yesterday, this play. Cole Kmet, he sees it pre-snap. Goes right to Cole Kmet in the flat. Easy 1st down. 5-yard gain. Move the chains. This is legitimate quarterback play that apparently Shady McCoy just doesn't watch when he doesn't watch the games and then says he can't throw. Then the very next play, post-snap read, good protection in front of him. He's got no one open. They had pulled Cole Kmet in for protection. He looks at him and he says, hey, run. We don't need you in here. You're blocking nobody. Go run her out. He does. David Montgomery sees it at the same time, turns his flat into a wheel, goes down the sideline.
Best throw of the
Dime.
day.
Absolutely, as Braggs would say, dead nuts throw.
Dead nuts.
Down the sideline. That's what he calls them, dead nuts. Dead nuts.
It's a bricklaying term.
Yeah, bricklaying
Oh,
term.
okay.
And he laid that brick. It wasn't a brick. It was a laser right down the sideline. So, what the hell again? Now he's playing quarterback. Now he's throwing accurate. What are we doing? Why are you running him?
Well, let me just ask the question, and you both can answer it. Does that mean that Luke Getsy just doesn't think that he can be a throwing quarterback? Because how do you come up with those plays when you're factoring everything that you're seeing out there into what's our best chance to win?
So Luke Getsy, right? When he gets in the red zone, he gets a little nervous. I can just tell by his play calling. He gets very run heavy at times, and then we're like in a situation like Justin Fields has been looking good passing the ball. And then in the 2-minute situations the past couple games, it just seems like he gets nervous in those situations. And like you said, Justin Fields had proved for most of the game, and especially that drive, that he can pass the ball. He was throwing lasers out there, dimes, and then in a 2-minute situation when the game's on the line, most teams aren't running the ball. I know you had some timeouts and what, but you're mostly pass heavy at that situation, right? You're getting up to the line quicker, and you use that to your advantage, right? You have a defensive line that's going to get tired, and we're trying to protect our offensive line. So all this is in our favor. Understanding mixing and matching a couple of runs with Montgomery or a scramble potentially with Justin Fields, but the designed outside run and the designed up the middle, I just don't get that. And we're talking about the next step for Justin Fields to really take the next step is really working on that deep passing game, right? And you had an opportunity in there to really script some, passing plays where he showed you he can do everything. So Luke Getsy, that's definitely coaching negligence in my opinion. He got him banged up in that situation, and the like you said, the series before, he did everything as a passer that would give you confidence as a play caller to say, let's script all these plays right here.
I didn't even mention a 3rd and 12. He scrambles around. He escapes the rush. Hits EQ.
Yep.
Another dime.
For 14. Another good quarterback play. I mean, he's 3 straight 3rd downs, and then you also have the most impressive one, which was the throw down the sideline to Montgomery on 1st down. I mean, there's 4 examples on the previous drive which led to a touchdown to tie the game of him playing quarterback. Yeah. So, again, it's just like reading what's going on. First of all, you haven't had much success with him running in the second half anyway. Exactly. At that point. Oh, he's cramping up on top of it, and he's playing quarterback. Like, it didn't make me feel any better about it at all. And I think the good thing is Luke Getsy's having a good season. Luke Getsy has done a lot of good things for this offense. He's been great with Justin Fields. There's 17 games in the season. Everyone's going to have a bad game. Coach, quarterback, cornerback, whoever you are, no one's going to have a perfect season. I think this was just a bad end-of-game situation for Luke Getsy. I don't think Matt Eberflus gets a passing grade either necessarily. He's the head coach. You can have input on this type of stuff. It's not good.
I don't think it's that isolated, though. There's been many times this year, 3rd and 15, you're in the red zone, handoff up the middle, picks up 5. What are we doing? I mean, I'm not. Listen, there's there's a reason why Luke Getsy is being talked about as a potential head coaching candidate, and there's a reason why he interviewed with Denver. And
George Payton's not watching this show right now. Okay, you don't have to worry about the Broncos hiring Luke Getsy.
I'm not worried.
Right?
Luke Getsy ain't gonna be a head coach next year. I'll tell you that.
I'm not worried about Luke Getsy going anywhere. I listen. They'll
Braggs was yesterday.
Braggs.
He thinks he's gonna go.
Braggs was losing his mind.
Braggs is on Twitter all week trying to discredit Luke Getsy in a kidding way so he doesn't get a head coaching job.
I think everyone's looking at what happened with Hackett, and they're treading lightly.
Braggs, you don't have that much power, by the way.
And think about it. He's done a good job the past 5 weeks with Justin Fields, right? But as a whole, if you're talking about from the beginning of the season, combining all that, it's been okay. And especially in the red zone at times, he's been a little timid with his play calling, 2-minute situations, been very timid. So I just can't see him getting a head coaching job after not really being a proven coordinator, right? If he was lighting it up and we were leading the NFL in every category, I could potentially understand that, but I just don't think so.
I like the guy. I think Luke Getsy we're talking about, I think he might be the best coach on the staff. I think that's on the table. And he's still a first-year offensive coordinator who is learning on the job.
I mean, Dabo, it took him a couple years, before he.
Yeah, I have big picture. I have no problems with Luke Getsy. Every coordinator is going to get scrutinized in every season, no matter how good they are.
Hard job.
But outside zone run.
But
we're looking for logic.
Let's not get the quarterback hurt. And I said this last week, guys. I thought that fine line of that balance between running, and I've been all over this, running Fields in a way that actually gets him hit less because he's not a sitting duck in the pocket. And I feel like I said this last week. I thought it went over the line. I thought in that Lions game, it went too much zone read, too much. Can we get rid of the option? Okay, the option is a stupid play because it's not necessary, and your quarterback in the last 2 weeks has taken 2 hits when he didn't even carry the ball. That's an example of he pitches, they're still allowed to hit him because if you wait till the last second to pitch the ball, you take an unnecessary hit. That's happened 2 weeks in a row now. Just take that out of the playbook. You can get yards without the option play.
As a D lineman, when they run the option and you have the quarterback, you're waiting to unload on them, right? There's very few opportunities now when you could really unload on the quarterback, right? When it's design run, the option, you're like, oh gosh, I'm gonna light him up right in his chest. So that's an opportunity. Like I agree, you don't need to take those hits. So I want to pose this question, and how much of it do you think is Luke Getsy, and how much of it is you think Justin Fields? Because I think Justin Fields has made a lot out of a little at times, right? It's made him maybe look better in a sense than what he's really been doing. And I think the key was Justin Fields getting confidence.
Yes.
When he started scrambling, that's when everything started.
That's when he got that swagger.
Yes, exactly. So I think people are placing more on Luke Getsy than they are on really Justin Fields, because we kind of were talking about it. Once his confidence, that was like the last remaining step for him to get things going. And when he started scrambling, having those crazy scrambles, that's when you saw his game elevate. So how much of that do you think is really Justin Fields and how much Getsy?
Well, first of all, I just would like to point out how refreshing it is that the question has now become who deserves more of the credit, the OC or the quarterback, right? Instead of who deserves more of the blame, the head coach / OC in Matt Nagy or the quarterback, which was the previous conversation here. So it's much better to be talking about who gets the credit instead of who gets the blame. I think it's a great point, though. And I think the answer ends up being both. Yep. And probably if you have an elite quarterback, the quarterback does deserve more of the credit. He's the one out there with the ball in his hands making those decisions after the coach puts you in the best position to have success, which is all you're trying to do as a coach. Yep. Always put your players in the best position to have success. And but I think we also have to give Getsy credit. We've seen the alternative. We've seen a coaching staff that didn't know what the hell to do with this guy. Yeah. And I would say 80% at least this season, this coaching staff has put Justin Fields in a position to have more success. Just don't be stupid about it. Don't get him hurt.
So he had 18 carries yesterday. 18. All right, 85 yards.
He led the team in carries.
Yeah. All right. Now, week 15, or week 15, week 9 against Miami, he had 15. All right. Okay. And now, how many times has he carried the ball in the last 7 games? 10 a game would be 7.
In 7 games?
In 7 games. Last 7. What's his total?
Close to 100.
80 carries.
Wow.
All right, we're over 11 a game, and it's going up. Now we've hit 18. We were at 15. At some point, we gotta. Can we the other way here?
Well, I just
some of them are. So it's mostly because he's running.
It's mostly because it's working.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
Yeah,
someone just pointed out he's 5th in the NFL in rushing.
Right.
Think if they would have been doing this from the beginning of the year.
It's insane what he's doing. So I want to be fair to Luke Getsy here and the coaching staff.
Yeah.
It's working. You're trying to win the game. It's working. But there's got to be a balance. So really, I'm not even talking about overall game plan. I'm just here and there. Get rid of the option. Unnecessary. Late in the game, clock's running down. You need to get in field goal range. You just had a great drive where he played quarterback. He's cramping. Like, these are the moments where it's like, okay, we can ditch the run here for a little bit. It's just about reading the game flow.
Yeah. Right. Early in the game, they're designed run. He's sprinting around. First
down. Went over the rushing yards in the second quarter again.
Yep.
Fourth quarter, he's dead. Run him out. Run him some more.
Red zone in 2 minutes. That's where I've been most critical of Getsy's play calling. Because it seems like he gets a little tight with his play calling, like a little nervous about what to call. And I'm like, listen, you have to have some experience with Justin Fields, allowing him to pass the ball at the end of the game, right? That's the last remaining step for him to get where we all want to see him be, right? Is the last remaining step in that passing game.
Yeah, but I've heard a lot of people say just like, the last thing we got. It's a huge step going, and there's quotes coming out of the locker room. We just have to win one of these. Cole Kmet, to be able to get to. It's not for me. It's not just winning one. You want to get to the point where you're the Chiefs, where somehow it's Sunday night and you're playing the Chargers, and you just know that this dude's going to come back and win the football game, or whoever they're playing. The Bears are the exact opposite. You just know somehow, some way, it's going to be a one-score game, and they're going to lose. That's a big hurdle. That's not just like one thing they got to fix, shore up. I mean, this is
but weapons too. The Chiefs have a lot of weapons. They have Travis Kelce, who is arguably the most dependable guy in the league when the game's on the line. Like, look at him drive down there. Like, when they need a play, he gets it done. He is a wide receiver playing tight end.
He's insane.
He's one of the best wide receivers in the game right now.
I guess what you just said is 100% true. But here's why I'm frustrated, because I think he did that earlier in the fourth quarter. Like, Fields did this yesterday, and then they came out where, okay, now they give up the field goal because it's the defense. They're not going to get a stop. We know that.
Yeah,
and so –
hold on. Can I just cut that off for a second? In the first half, they had the ball at the 28-yard line, okay?
Yeah, but you're specifically talking about the fourth quarter. Don't change your argument to the second quarter. He's retracting. Fields did yesterday what everyone's asking him to do, and then he had to do it again, and the coordinator didn't call the plays that worked on the first one.
You're correct that they did have a drive that tied the game up, and he led it, and he was awesome on it. That's all true. But they were also in the position where they needed it again because they had the ball at the 28-yard line. Not completely on him, but he bounced one to Treston Ebner. Sam Mustafer gets a false start, and then he takes a sack on 3rd and 19 that takes him out of field goal range. They give away 3 points right there, and then at the end, everybody's involved here. By the way, they kick a 56-yard field goal, which. Come on, man. That's your.
By the way, Kevin Fishbain had the best nugget that came out of Atlanta yesterday. I want to give him credit. So, first of all, Cairo took blame for it. He hit the ball too high on the ball. That's why it looked funny. It was a good snap. It was a good hold. Bad kick. Okay, and the line was 58 yards. They kicked it from 56. You put all that math together. The kicker's got to make the kick. Okay, bottom line is he's got to make the kick. But the nugget that Kevin got, that I read in The Athletic this morning. So there's 3 K balls. There's 3 kicking balls that they use, and they get numbered before the game, 1, 2, and 3, based on which one's their favorite. It's not that they had the wrong ball out there. That ball got taken out of the game on the kick return to Cordarrelle Patterson because he broke an NFL record, and that ball's going to Canton. So they removed the best kicking ball out of the game. Now, Cairo admitted, I didn't know that. We didn't know that till afterward, but it just kind of sucks that the ball that they had numbered number 1 And that stuff does matter. Honestly, I think sometimes it matters more in their head than in reality. But they do, the balls do matter, just like quarterbacks care about the balls, and Tom Brady's deflating the balls or not deflating the balls. Outstanding nerdy special teams nugget from Kevin Fishbain.
But don't you think in that situation that you go Cats? Don't you think you punt the ball in that situation just because of risk reward? Yeah. If I'm the head coach, I'm punting. I'm pinning him back in that situation.
Fair, but let me just play counter. Devil's advocate. You have a kicker who hasn't missed a field goal all season. You've set the pregame line at the 40-yard line for a 58-yard field goal. Yep. You're inside that by 2 yards. Okay. You got to trust your players at some point, right? Like, I get it. It's on the fringe, but that's the line you set pregame. You're inside the line. You're inside a dome. It's not outside in Soldier Field in the wind. I'm just thinking risk to reward, right? Like you miss it and then you have field positions. That's what I'm thinking in that situation. I mean, it's a lot harder to drive down if you're at the 20, inside the 20, your own 20. If it's overtime and a field goal doesn't win the game, I'm with you. Okay. Because if you miss it, then they get the ball and a field goal wins the game. Then I'm with you. I think before halftime,
there's just a whole learning and tanking, trying to figure out how to win here. Look, you have the ball at the 28-yard line. You're in field goal range. You're trying to get a touchdown. You should not end up out of field goal range sacked after penalties and swing out passes that bounce, and somehow Treston Ebner did the best thing that he did all day yesterday, picking that up.
Also, right before the missed field goal, Fields had 2 check down backs, and he couldn't get the ball past the line of scrimmage because someone knocked it down. It looked like Darrington Evans, who he probably hasn't thrown a ball to all year, was wide open going to the other side. He probably could have done a little bit of a better job there just to make sure that they got a little bit closer on the field goal.
But how about the offensive line? Like, I mean, Atlanta coming to this game, they weren't known for rushing the passer or generating pressure. They were one of the least teams in sacks and all that, and they completely dominated. Especially Schofield. I mean, Grady Jarrett had his number, man.
How do you feel about Grady Jarrett being the 3 technique next year?
I would like that a lot, man. I like what I've seen from him all year. That would be great to see. How about Allen too from Washington? Isn't he a free agent?
He might be. Yeah,
I think he's a free agent. Yeah. Montez Sweat too.
Okay, now we're talking.
Now we're spending money.
But
let's go.
I don't think people realize like what Justin Fields is doing with a little. Right. Yeah. The offensive line has been very suspect at times. Weapons, Claypool really hasn't had the impact. He's still learning the offense, right? Darnell Mooney's really a number 2. Cole Kmet's, starting to come alive. We don't have Khalil Herbert. So in this game, Fields was pressured like crazy. And I was very surprised. I'm like, they haven't had pressure like we haven't. So it's gonna be a good game. And all of a sudden, Grady Jarrett and company are just absolutely, in Justin Fields' face, hitting him, pressuring him. So it's hard from Justin Fields' standpoint where you're getting pressured, quickly, like 2-3 seconds. All of a sudden, somebody's in his face right away. So he was able to do a lot with a little in this game.
We got some super chats to get to. There's a little bit of NFL news we got to talk about too. First, want to make sure if you're coming out to our tailgates. Next one's coming up against in the Green Bay game, December 4th, you're going to see our awesome Chi-Town cornhole boards, the #1 cornhole provider for Chicagoland and Illinois since 2007. They have a signature box-style design that can be digitally printed, covered in vinyl, and painted. The boards come with built-in drink holders that are recessed on the back and LEDs that light up the whole, handles for easy carrying, and handcrafted scorekeepers. It's a veteran-owned and operated company. They can ship anywhere and offer local pickups. Chi-Town Cornhole specializes in corporate designs for your company's next marketing or social event. Wedding gifts for all occasions, especially for those tailgates and backyard barbecues. You're going to want to check it out. Go to their website, ChiTownCornhole.com. Make sure to follow them on Instagram at Chi-Town Custom Cornhole Boards.
So one quick note along the sack deal. I mean, the Falcons did. They entered the game 31st in sacks per pass attempt, all right? They had just one game with 4 sacks. And then they did it to Fields yesterday 4 times for 25 yards, and it should have been like 8 times if the guy wasn't unbelievable. So just a note on the offensive line. And now a note on our friends at DraftKings, which happy Thanksgiving to everybody right now. And DraftKings is straight my go-to. But this Thanksgiving week, you bet $5 on any NFL team to win their game, $150 in free bets if they do. Check it out. Everyone can earn 100% boost also with DraftKings stepped-up same-game parlays, which makes the game just that much more fun. You go to the DraftKings Sports app, place a same-game parlay, combine multiple bets, like which team will win, put in a player prop, put in a point total, whatever you want to do. All of a sudden, you're getting the 100% boost, so you're just making that money with your football knowledge. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use the promo code CHGO. $5 bet on any NFL team to win their game. Get $150 in free bets. And if they do, you will be living the I'm getting richer dream. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with the code CHGO.
I think Lawrence had it up earlier, but there was some news out of Denver that the Broncos straight up released Melvin Gordon, which is interesting.
Kenosha's finest.
Yeah, and I do have to say the Bears missed Khalil Herbert a little bit more than I thought yesterday.
Wow.
That being said, the issue with Melvin Gordon in Denver has been his fumbling.
Yep.
And that doesn't jive with the hits principle.
Nope.
So you got to hold on to the ball.
And, Khalil Herbert, I think he's the future, younger, so I think he's the future of it. Melvin Gordon, I know people are talking about potentially picking him up, but I don't like that. I think Montgomery and Khalil Herbert combined, and I think we're going to be able to get
but how many more weeks of no Herbert? Do we have 3 more
at
weeks?
At least 3 more. And I have to say, every time Treston Ebner gets you could see, the flashes of what they like, but when he runs straight into the back of one of his blockers on one of those runs, I'm like, what is going on?
The vision
He wasn't quite getting out. I thought at the correct timing on the screens. We know the pass protection, something that they've been working on. I don't know. I would have liked to see David Montgomery carry a little bit more of the load yesterday.
Yeah, I would have liked that too.
So, I think they definitely missed Khalil Herbert yesterday. One thing I wanted to talk about, it's a little early in the week to be talking about the next opponent, but this was a big thing last night and certainly blowing up in New York this morning. But Zach Wilson is awful. And I say that with zero pride because I liked him a lot coming out. I thought some of the things he did at BYU was special. There was a time where I was like, man, I almost want to put him ahead of Trevor Lawrence. Thank God I did not do that. But raise my hand, I was wrong because I did have him ahead of Justin Fields, and that was insane. The problem, and I always say this every year going in the draft talk, we'll do it again this year, is you cannot get to know these guys as intimately as the teams do. And, I think we've learned about Zach Wilson. There's definitely some immaturity issues there with him.
I don't know. I hear he's very mature in certain ways.
Yeah, he's taking people's moms and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know how many of those moms are interested right now though, because
they're still interested.
You think so?
Yes.
Somebody said Zach Wilson equals Mitch Trubisky.
Don't be that disrespectful to Mitch Trubisky. Yeah. Honestly, I
think Trubisky's better than
Zach Wilson. But here's the bigger problem that you would never, ever accuse Trubisky of. Trubisky's teammates loved him, still love him.
Kyle Long always speaks.
Everybody loves Mitch. Yeah. Zach Wilson's doing a postgame presser. Dude, you scored 3 points yesterday. And he gets asked straight up, do you feel like you let the defense down? And he just goes, no. No? Are you insane? The correct answer to that question 100 times out of 100 is absolutely. Yeah, we have to score more than 3 points. Our defense balled out today. Yep. We should have given them a better chance. Woot, as a defensive player, if you're quarterback, and you played on some teams where the quarterback let you down a little bit, if he ever came out and answered that question that way, how would that be received in the locker room?
Everyone would be talking back and forth like, yo, is this dude serious? Because like football 101, right? You always take responsibility, right? As the quarterback, you're always just like, hey, that's on me. I'll take responsibility.
Even when it's not you.
Yeah, even when it's not you, right? But if you're obviously playing bad, you have to say, listen, I need to play better. Like you said, the defense is balling out. The defense for the Jets has carried them. That's the reason why they have the wins that they do. It's not because of Zach Wilson and the offense. The offense hasn't done anything. I think their numbers, what do they have total? 140 yards or 50 yards?
It was something like 104.
Yeah, it was something ridiculous.
Terrible.
He's playing so poorly. And as a man, you just have to take accountability for that and say, I need to get better. I need to do my film study. I need to get with the offensive coordinator. I need to work more with the players. Like, that's on you at that point. And I next year they're going to be drafting somebody else for sure, I think.
Or signing Jimmy Garoppolo or Derek Carr maybe.
Well, we're underlining right now one of the things that I don't think gets mentioned enough. It's like the Bears have a first-class dude in Justin Fields. I mean, he is accountable. He is a good person. He is a hard worker. He is not going to be embarrassing the franchise.
It's important to him.
He won't embarrass the franchise, himself, his family. Like that's something that I feel extremely confident betting on. That the Bears have like Johnny Solid as their QB. And he's super talented. And by the way, Woot, as we're talking about Johnny Solid, I got a text from somebody who watches this show. And he doesn't compliment literally anyone. By the way, Corey Wootton is one of the coolest guys ever. None better. That's the love you're getting out there. That's the love you're getting out there, dude.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But Zach Wilson, if you look at him when he was first coming out, just hearing him talk to the media, I was like, is this dude scared? Like number one, like he looks like a 12-year-old kid. Like, I mean, it is what it is. But I'm saying, just as far as his presence in front of the media, I'm like, how can this guy command a locker room and an offense? You know, like if the game's on the line, you're looking at him, and he's just like, hey guys, let's just like literally, like there's nothing about him that like commands respect. Like I'm being dead serious, right?
I got it.
If the game's on the line, right, in the huddle, if Zach Wilson's over there, looking like, hey guys, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna. You guys are like, get the fuck.
I always thought that was the same thing with Trubisky. Like him getting in there, he's like stuttering and just stamping.
People respected Trubisky, right?
Yeah.
It was more about what he couldn't do on the field and perform wise. But I think everybody respected him. I get the vibe that they just don't respect Zach Wilson, you know, and they're definitely frustrated, right? Because the defense has done everything. They played up to par. Robert Saleh has those guys playing. It's like the last remaining. If they had a decent quarter, they would be better with Joe Flacco. Mike White's the other quarterback. Mike White, the legend of Mike White.
I would play him. I mean, look, here's where I'm getting at, though, guys, and I got to give you everybody in this whole CHGO office, do not let me pick the Bears. Despite all of this, because that's what I'm doing. I'm already talking myself into the Bears can beat Zach Wilson. He stinks. They scored 3 points.
It's their defense,
You picked up a game on everybody except for, I think, did Carmi pick the?
She picked the Bears too, I think.
You might have been. You were either one of one or one of two that picked.
But listen, I wouldn't put
Falcons.
anything past our defense, right? Zach Wilson sucks. He's this, that, and the other. Watch him ball out against us, right? Because our defense is very suspect. Hoge, I was telling you about the simple zone read plays, right, where based on the way the quarterback is and the back is offset behind the quarterback, a run is coming to you. And Trevis Gibson got thrown out of the club, like no white tees, that expression. Like I was like, oh my goodness, he's coming right at you. That's the easiest play as a defensive lineman, especially if you're on the left side. He's coming, you literally stone arm him with your right arm. You have this arm free, and he literally got tossed. I was like, I've never seen that. Like, I haven't seen that in years.
It was bad. I definitely noticed that on the film. I noticed it live too. Let's fire through these super chats. I gotta roll out to Hallis to get to Matt Eberflus's press conference. So Lawrence, go ahead.
Oh, you want me to read it? Okay. Carmen, let's make sure you can hear me. This is from Sang
I'm
Ray.
leaning in.
Like I said yesterday, we need continuity in the offensive scheme. Replace Flus with Sean Payton. Flus is doing nothing good. Sean Payton scheme plus Justin Fields equals bomb.
Okay. I love your high level of hope on
Can
something.
we not change the offense again for Justin Fields though? Like, we don't need to change the offense.
I don't think that's realistic to fire the coach after the first year when.
Not a McCaskey.
Yeah,
I mean,
not happening.
Saying I like to live in fantasy land too, and in my land, I'm going to be playing in the NBA.
But what if you had the opportunity to get Sean Payton though? I mean, realistically,
What if?
would you if he was willing to come to the Bears right now, and would you fire Eberflus and company and say, Sean Payton, this is your show right now?
No, move Flus to defensive coordinator.
Sure. Renteria for Madden.
I would have some
Flus for Payton.
The way we see coaches it goes back to the conversation you had earlier. Like how much was that? How was that Drew Brees? How much of that was Drew Brees?
But Drew Brees, before he was there, he was in San Diego, right? And they weren't. they kind of tossed him to the side. Look with Tony Romo, what he
I need more time to think about
that.
Yeah. What else we got?
All right, vibing with the dogs. First of two from him. This is $9.99. He says, what do you gain by playing Justin the rest of the season? The O-line isn't going to magically block, and the receivers aren't going to magically get open. Shut him down for the season.
So I don't think that's necessarily on the table. We'll see what Matt Eberflus has to say here in a little bit. I don't know that he's going to give up too much information. The vibe I get actually is somewhat encouraging on the shoulder. I think it's actually something he might be able to play through. It is his non-throwing shoulder. My thing, though, is his legs might need a break anyway. Yeah. So I would think, like, big picture long-term this week and say, hey, you know what? If it's on the fence, maybe we just give him a week off. Come back for the Packers game, then you get another week off because it's the bye week. Just be smart.
Yeah, I think that's
shutting him down for the season. I don't.
Yeah, because I think he's getting his confidence up. Right, we really see that, and we just got to continue working on the passing game with him. And
there's more that needs to be worked out with Claypool.
Exactly. Like if he was a veteran guy that had been playing at a high level for a couple of years, I could understand potentially shutting him out in a season that doesn't shutting him down in a season that really doesn't matter. But at this point, I feel like he hasn't even scratched the surface of what he can be, and it's just going to continue to improve on what he needs.
He's not a finished product. He needs to play. Go ahead.
Second one from Vibin, another $9.99. Thank you. A couple things. We should try Dieter Iselin at center, and if Fields tries to play, the coaching staff has to tell him no, at least for this week. Let him heal. That's more realistic, I think.
Yeah. All right, what else?
Let's see here. How about Andrew Fitzpatrick?
What up, Andrew?
$9.99. When is the NFL going to wake up and realize they can't let questionably old officials influence, let alone decide the outcome of what is a multi-billion-dollar industry? Can gambling fix this?
By the way, it wasn't just the Bears game. There were some questionable calls around the league yesterday.
Always in forever. That was a sweet avatar, by the way. Good job, Andrew. And we don't want to get in trouble for being ageist around here, but I like people that can still run. I'm just saying.
I get it at the high school level when you're desperate for officials, but I tend to agree with you. Like when we had Tony Correnti out there, he's like 70 years old.
Like,
I mean, there's some limit at some point.
Listen, there's some Maury's out there in my tennis world at 70 that can still move, but there's also some Ruperts who can't.
He's got a walker out there, right?
So,
are these real people you just called out?
Maury is a real person.
Maury,
who yes.
So Rupert's not going to be mad. You just called him out.
Rupert is not as real.
Talking about Maury Povich?
I'm talking about Maury who took me down, and I blew out my hamstring. I was lying on the ground and Maury standing over me. Are you okay? I'm like, Maury, this is the most embarrassing moment of my day. Hoge's got to go to the press conference. We'll talk about it next time. But Maury is real, and he beat me. That was about 5 years ago.
Let the record show. If I don't get my questions in the Flus today, it's because Carman had to tell you about Maury, the tennis player.
And we've got a couple more super chats, so let's keep ripping through here. Zach says, how does everyone prioritize offseason needs? My thoughts, D-line, both interior and edge. Offensive line, either guard and or tackle, depending on rest of the season. Wide receiver and linebacker. I think we get one of these at least every week. And
I think defensive line for me is obviously the chief importance, and I think they're going to address that in free agency, right? Because you look at the wide receiver free agents, not that many. I think we'll probably use our draft pick with potentially on the offensive side of the ball, either wide receiver or tackle.
I don't think they have enough money to address what they need or enough draft picks. It's any
it's
order
possible.
you want.
It's possible.
D-line, O-line,
possible.
Wide receiver. We got to get some people in here.
You get two guys on the D-line of free agency. You draft a guy or two. Yeah. We get an offensive lineman with the first pick. Yeah. We get a receiver. And we got some options. No
all right, Lawrence, fire through all the last three. Otherwise, I'm making Carman close the show.
Defensive coach Wilkes fired for offensive Kingsbury after 1 year. Getsy will leave soon. Janoko will leave soon if he's good. Continuity in offense, get Payton. Okay, so we get it. He likes Sean Payton.
Sean Payton would be nice, but I don't think that's a possibility.
Saying it ever happens, we're shouting you out for 3 days straight.
John Davis. He says the D-line were all sub-30 grades by PFF yesterday. Yikes. That is
it's not surprising. We saw the tape. It was bad.
Thanks, John.
But then this is nice. Caleb, that Komet's one-handed catch was number one on the top 10 today on SC. So that's cool.
It was a great catch, especially because he was getting hit at the same time.
It's great to see his hands come alive because early on in the season he had trouble catching. So Cole Komet, good to see you, man.
Cole Kagad. I love Kagad and
work on that nickname.
What about Sand God Kagad? Sand God to Kagad.
No.
Hoge's got to go, man. He's got questions.
I'm walking
gotta
off.
ask.
I'm seriously leaving.
Hold on,
Close
Big Brother
the show.
Motown. Okay. He says I have a serious
He's
problem.
going to talk to the Flus. Everybody put in the chat what you want, and we'll
Ask him
text
all
him.
the questions.
Big Brother Motown says I have a serious problem with Getsy. Fields is in his second season. He's going to make mistakes. However, Getsy has 10 years NFL coaching experience. He should not still be learning on the job.
But Big Brother, it's his first time as a head coach.
You mean as an offensive coordinator?
Do what?
So about Getsy.
Yeah, as
Offensive
you said, head coach. But
Oh, he's just talking about Getsy.
Yeah, as a
Oh,
coordinator.
my bad,
Yeah.
my bad, Big Brother.
Yeah, but yeah, he's got to
It's his first time as an OC, though.
It is. He's got to do better though. When the game's on the line in the 2-minute situation, Carm, come on.
I'm not.
Two design quarterback runs when the game's on the line in the 2-minute situation.
You're getting no argument from me.
Yeah.
0.0. He does have to do better, but I'm just saying that it's not surprising that he does need to do better because he is a first year OC and he's
That's
not
why
going
when
to be
people are
perfect.
talking about him for being a head coach, I just don't see how. Like
Hi, Hoge.
you know, like he's done a pretty good job the past 5 weeks with Justin Fields, but as a whole, like
No.
you know, it's been up and down. I don't think he's proven enough to garner head coaching attention.
Well, it was. I mean, listen, the Bears haven't had their offense unlocked in a decade, and he unlocked it. So that's I think why that was.
He's unlocked like allowing Justin Fields to use his feet, scramble, but like as far as passing, like are we where we want to be?
right.
No, we have one game of over 200 yards passing, which
Exactly.
is pathetic.
And a lot of that is on the weapons and offensive line, but he should be able to script some plays to get things going because Justin Fields looks confident as a passer. And Hoge talked about it. That last drive, the one before the 2-minute, I mean, that was probably the best we've seen Justin Fields pass the ball. So he had everything going for him, and we just didn't see the plays.
It feels like we've been led down the path of fool's gold. This was so much fun. He's running all over the place. This is amazing. Oh,
Somebody said it too. Pretty sure Rodgers was coaching Getsy in Green Bay and Hackett as well.
yeah. Well,
Floor and Rodgers are calling the plays. Like it wasn't Hackett. It wasn't Getsy. Like that's what people like. Just with Matt Nagy coming here, right? Everyone said, "Oh yeah, he's the coordinator." No, not so fast.
yeah, but okay. But you don't think he's bad at his job?
Getsy?
Yeah.
No, I think he's perfect for what we need. It's just now him in the red zone situations in 2 minutes, he gets a little tight with his play calling.
Right.
He gets a little nervous, you know.
Okay. All right. We got it. Luke, from all of us here at CHGO, just relax, trust your abilities, and don't get the quarterback hurt.
I do believe that our guy Sang Ray here, I think he's very close to paying enough money with all his Sean Payton comments to become a diehard member of CHGO if he's not already.
Yeah.
Saying, jump on in.
Please do. We need you in the community.
No, but I mean, Sean Payton, that would be a dream come true for like developing a quarterback, scripting for success for him. But at the same time, like Getsy and Fields are starting to get some level of connection, right? And next year we're going to have a better offensive line, better weapons. Just another coordinator but it is Sean Payton, right? So it's like, but I don't think it's realistic though.
Two things. One, if you go diehard saying you're going to get Woot and Hoge tomorrow night on a Zoom where you can sit there and literally you don't have to pay anything at that point. You just can ask him nonstop questions about Sean Payton and just have that convo, or anybody else who wants to jump on in. So do the diehard thing, and we're going to be doing takeovers. I think we're going to a Bulls game coming up here.
Okay,
it's going to be a ton of fun. I can't wait to see everybody out there. Kevin Wells might come. Who I know that name excites everybody out there. Longtime WGN guy. I'm going to wear this.
He's going to be flooding.
I might go with my straight brown capris for that thing.
Do you have your diesel shoes?
Oh, diesel shoes.
You ever heard of the Jersey Shore there, tough guy, huh?
Yeah,
Holy D. Ronnie, yo, get this guy out of here. I tell you what, this guy, Carm, I tell you what, he don't understand this stuff.
What am I?
I'm from Jersey, okay, Carm?
I got my ID does.
GTL, baby.
GTL. Jim Tan Laundry, tough guy.
I mean, I don't know if people are appreciating this extra time, but I'm enjoying being on I miss Hoge, but it's
You know, sometimes you just got to get him out of here. You know what I mean?
It is what it is. You bury your dead and you move on. Can I just? I won't do it.
Do it.
You should. Can I do it?
Yeah, do it.
The Cordarrelle Patterson thing.
Yeah.
Do you realize Do we have this ability? No, we don't have this ability. Okay.
I don't have that graphic, but
yeah, that's
you can
okay.
say all these numbers.
It'll be a tease for later in the week. I broke down the numbers between Patterson and Devin.
Hester.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just as kick returning though, right?
No, the all complete yards gained as a receiver, as a running back, as a kick returner, as a punt returner.
Okay, can we
averages, touchdowns, all of it.
All right, can we leave the wide receiver aspect? Lawrence, don't you think you should leave the wide receiver aspect or running back aspect from a guy that's flooding and needs lotion? But strictly return, because I know you want to get all this other stuff because you're mad that Devin Hester didn't work out at defensive back or wide receiver like you wanted to.
What do you want me to
just return stats?
Let's do return stats.
Yeah, let's do return stats. Because Cordarrelle Patterson isn't making the Hall of Fame for what he's doing as a offensive player.
You want to do kickoff
Carm,
return?
Just real quick, Braggs is saying, "Don't do it, Carm."
No, do it. I want to.
You want to do kick? You want?
Yes, do kick return.
Who do you think has more total kick return yards between Hester and Patterson?
I think Patterson, because you're bringing it up.
Okay. Who do you think has more? You're correct. Who do you think is average more per return?
I think you're going to say Patterson.
Yeah, that's right. Who's got more touchdowns?
I think you're going to say Patterson.
The most touchdowns in the history of the NFL.
But who has most combined?
Okay. Yeah, so you want to go there?
Punt return and
you want to go there?
Yeah, let's go there.
Okay. So the problem with that is that Devin has 3,695 punt return yards.
No, I'm just talking about touchdowns.
Touchdowns.
Let's say touchdowns. Total overall return touchdowns.
Okay. So Devin has them.
Mm-hmm. By how many?
He's got them by 10 total.
Okay.
14 touchdowns on punt returns.
Okay.
14 of them.
Yep.
And 5 on the kickoff. So it's 19. But who's got more touchdowns overall as a player?
As a player?
Yeah. Everything.
But this is irrelevant. This is what you always try to bring in.
What do you mean it's not relevant? Why is
No, hold on. Cordarrelle Patterson 100% has more kick return attempts than Devin Hester. I think so. I think he probably has.
Bragg said he has double the kick return attempts, probably.
I would imagine that too, because people did not kick at Devin Hester. People didn't kick at Devin.
I pulled that up.
Somehow
didn't put in the stats.
Did you pull it up as far as your pants?
No.
But Lawrence, Devin Hester is the GOAT. Like I don't know what Carm's trying to get at. Like
I'm trying to get at.
Devin, help us out here, man. Devin Hester is the GOAT.
Kevin can come and sit down. There's no.
Yeah, come over here.
or everyone's available here.
He just doesn't like the fact that Devin Hester didn't work out at cornerback or wide receiver like he wanted him to. Yes.
No, but we haven't done it like
he just
this.
Won't let it go. He's like,
we haven't
overall yards as a wide receiver, a running back. Like,
we haven't done it the day after Patterson broke the NFL record for most touchdown returns, kickoff returns in the history of the game, running right down the middle of the field against the Bears.
Patterson should be in the Hall of Fame. Is this
that's what a couple of the Bears are saying. Josh Jackson said that yesterday. So I got quotes from those guys too that Patterson's a Hall of Famer. Is he? Should he be a first ballot Hall of Famer? Everybody?
No, but you're comparing him to Devin Hester, like his impact. Like Kevin, they didn't kick to Devin Hester half the time. Right. So, and that's when people. That's when they were actually kicking balls to people. Like
I love Cordarrelle Patterson, right?
Yeah, I think he's a great returner.
He's awesome. I mean, it's fun to watch. I wish he was still on the Bears. I haven't dove deep enough into the stats, but
no. Cordarrelle Patterson is a great kick returner, right? But as a whole,
I don't think he's the game changer.
No, that he is. He's definitely a game changer, but not in the impact that Devin Hester. Like think about it when they kicked it
he's
to him
not a paradigm shifter
on opening kickoff in the Super Bowl. Took it to the crib, like
it was the greatest moment in Bears history outside of anything that happened in 1985.
But you're saying about Cordarrelle Patterson, he will never get in the Hall of Fame as a return guy.
All I'm saying,
because that wasn't his specialty. Like he's not a punt returner as well. Devin Hester did it all.
All I'm saying is that there is this like huge, violent argument for it. How could he not be in the Hall of Fame in his first on the first ballot? And meanwhile, this dude who played here and had 2 kickoff returns for a touchdown here has taken 3 now back against the Bears. 3 of them with 3 different teams. And I just don't. I hear nothing about this guy.
No, everyone knows he is a game changer, right? He's probably the closest option to Devin Hester that we ever seen as a kick returner, right?
Maybe he just needs a better PR.
Hester had 295 kick returns. Cordarrelle had 264. Just so you know, he could.
Okay.
So
I guess Braggs is spewing hot garbage out there.
Yeah.
Here's my question, right? There's one punter in the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah.
Is that like it's going to be Ray Guy, who I think just recently passed away? Is it just going to be him and like nobody? Like we're only letting one punter in, and we're only letting one kick returner in, and that's it.
We need Zerline, Greg.
What about field goal kickers? Are there any in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, there's plenty of kickers, right?
Matt Mosley? I don't know.
No, I mean, like Adam Vinatieri will be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. But I was just trying to think of
who do you think caught 276 balls as a receiver versus the other guy that caught 255?
Well, what is your problem with as a receiver? We're talking about return.
I'm talking about as an entire foot. I'm talking. All right. I'm talking about a guy who was begging to play receiver, by the way, and I'm talking about as an entire football player. By the way, as total stats go, Devin has him. Yardage-wise, Devin has 14,455 yards in total, everything that he did on the football field. Patterson's got 12,590. Now he's still going, so he may pass him, but he's got him. And yards per play, Devin has 16 yards per play if you combine everything, versus Patterson's got 13. However, Patterson, 43 touchdowns, Devin, 36. I'm just saying.
As a whole, with
everything.
But you got to think, Cordarrelle Patterson was a first-round pick. Right, that they expected to be this crazy receiver. So if anybody hasn't lived up to the hype as far as what he's drafted for is Cordarrelle Patterson, Carm. Am I not right?
But that doesn't mean
he was supposed to be a game-changing wide receiver. So you should get mad at that fact, right? They've shifted him, and he's been a pretty good running back, a guy that you can shift out, and now you can play him a little receiver. But if anybody has failed to live up to expectation, it's Cordarrelle Patterson.
But no one's talking about expectations of draft picks. I'm just talking about the fact that. And as much as it feels like I'm trying to detract from Devin Hester, I'm more just trying to detract from Bears fan arguments who are screaming at me that Patterson is. You can make an argument that as an overall complete football player, he is better than Devin. You can make that argument.
Okay,
you wouldn't be completely insane. I'm not pure talent and excitability. Just every time he touches the football, okay, fine, Devin. But by the way,
who would you
rather kickoff returns in the history of the NFL is that dude?
You've got to score 7 points or 6 points.
Yeah.
Like, who are you putting back to start the Super Bowl?
I don't know, man. He's done it nine times.
One person actually did it.
Okay, fine. Yes.
So if you had the choice on kick return, the game's on the line, you got one last chance. There's 1 second left.
Devin Hester.
Right? I'm picking Devin Hester 100% of the time.
Okay, I guess I wouldn't argue that, but the stats would tell you differently. As far as pure kick returning, Patterson has done it better. You could say that they didn't kick to him. They didn't want to kick to him yesterday. There was a whole conversation about
why did he kick to him?
Because they're idiots. They shouldn't have kicked to him. They lost the game because they kicked to him. The whole Bears defense is that the Bears are saying that changed the whole game. Why would you kick to this dude? He has a 109-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. 109.
I'll make it art. He's been one of the best kick returners to ever play the game, right?
Yeah.
Not over Devin Hester. He's number 2. It's like saying Jordan and LeBron, right? Jordan's number 1. LeBron's number 3 after Kobe, right? Number 2, right?
So our guy Alfredo says CHGO needs to suspend Carman immediately. He also complimented me on my jacket, so I'm gonna I might actually have to follow through on that.
I mean,
on his order.
But yeah.
Right. I knew this.
So just to settle this,
yeah.
Cordarrelle Patterson is a better kick returner than Hester, in your opinion. He's on the spot, right? Don't get nervous about what people are saying. This is your personal opinion.
I'm just trying to formulate it in my head that how am I going to say? I tend to agree that there's more. Like if you're looking for the home run ball, I suppose you have to say Devin. But the fact of the matter is that Patterson averages 5 yards more a kick return for his career. They both have this a big sample size, and he's got 9 kickoff returns for a touchdown versus 5. I don't know. Maybe I'll just stick to my guns here.
The thing I like about
Patterson is the better kick returner, and Devin is by far the better punt returner.
I like that they're different guys, and they have different styles and different ways of approaching things. Like they're both artists, right? But in different ways. And Dante Hall was a little bit different than those guys.
Yeah.
Devin is just it's just more fun watching him. It's flashier. He's got the high step.
Right,
it's just more. It's just but
Cordarrelle's just going to run over somebody, which is fun.
He's going to truck you, and then and then you're not going to catch him.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, people are talking about what I said. In my opinion about basketball, it's Jordan, Kobe, and then LeBron.
Like where do you tackle either of those guys? Like it's pretty hard to bring either down. Both had different return styles, but
I actually now want to end the show on
who are you more scared of? That's the question. I think people are more scared of Hester. Cordarrelle Patterson can still beat you like the same type of way, but I think Devin Hester you're scared of him.
Patterson's career is not over, right?
No, it's not.
So that's a point in his favor.
Right. I mean, how's this? Is Cordarrelle Patterson a Hall of Famer?
No. Because when you talk about return, you're talking about punt return and kick return.
Yeah. But the whole argument on Devin is that he's a Hall of Famer because he's the best to ever do that. This guy has the most kickoff returns in the history of the NFL but he's not.
Not return as a whole though.
And how many punt returns does he have?
He wasn't a punt returner.
He's never been a punt returner.
He has one punt return in his career for 9 yards.
So that's like saying a running back, right? Because he has the most touchdowns, right? If he was a short yardage back, should he be in the Hall of Fame for having the most touchdowns? That's
okay. And in essence, by the way, I tend to
shout out to Gerald Riggs from my childhood.
By the way, I'm all over the map now officially, and please don't point.
The Carm hate is real.
Yeah, no, they all my hate is actually love, and I appreciate all the love that I'm getting from everybody.
You need the hater blockers next time.
Yeah, that's okay. We're all in this together, even if we're not. But so, like that's why I have such a hard time just saying like a specialist. And would you agree that Devin is a specialist?
Yes.
Okay, So that was my entire argument, by the way, which is why I wouldn't put a specialist as a first-time ballot Hall of Famer.
He was a game changer, though.
Well, now we're moving the goalposts. Right? I mean, specialist.
The fact that he did it in both phases is kind of the thing that gets
no one
him,
has ever done, really.
Right, that gets him past the whatever wall there is for specialists.
What was it? Brian Westbrook, right? Was the from the Eagles, right?
Yeah.
He was like, I guess the best thing before Devin Hester, right? It could do punt return, kick return, and then Devin Hester blew everything out of the water. You know, when it came to that. So as a whole, right? Cordarrelle Patterson never really was a punt returner. So,
I got it. I just
like I understand what you're saying. As a kick returner, it could be up for debate, but I just think Devin Hester.
I think it's a great. I think
can't believe the show is still going.
I love that the show is still going. I could do this for 7 hours. And let's just wrap with it.
But you pull your pants down, by the way. Did you guys already talk about what is going on?
Somebody said this. They changed the rules because of Hester.
Woot was getting after. Hoge got after me with my pants.
Are you trying to get a tan?
I am. I want it to be summer. It's going to be 40 degrees tomorrow. Wait, what are you saying?
No, they changed the rules because of Hester.
I got it.
How far?
Listen, when he goes into the Hall of Fame, I'll be celebrating 23, just like 23 behind us. And
is Jordan the best of all time? The greatest of all time?
Okay, so
I'm just making sure because you're about to say no. LeBron is
no. So that's where I wanted to end it. Like, look, to me, for the whole LeBron Jordan thing, Mike is still here off the screen. LeBron is down here. There is no comparison. None. Benedetto shaking
Bragg
your head.
said he's never talking to you again.
That's
no more brick by brick for you, man.
Kind of a double win. That's not true. He's calling me the minute I'm off the show. He misses me to the end of the earth. You will never. What's the word I'm looking for? You will never cancel me, Braggs. I
think the chat room was canceling him.
Kevin,
can we?
I don't know. I think the chat room should maybe cancel the end of the show. Anyone want to end it? Oh wait, we got another super chat because this thing just won't end. Thank you, Blaze the Nugs. Carm sounding like an uninformed Skip Bayless, who is already an uninformed person. So that's a double uninformed.
We got a $2 super chatter. Carm sounding like that's him.
Just said that. Okay, I'm gonna end the show for you.
We get on purpose. We need a Carm shirt made.
Well,
and Devin Hester, Carman, Devin Hester together,
just
like
so
arms around each other, like stepbrothers or something like that. We need one of those.
Mark Carman's bad take factory.
Yeah, and then we would just sell it so people will sell it with matches, so people can just immediately burn it when they buy it. Sangray again. Hey Kevin, do you want Sean Payton as your head coach?
No.
Perfect. All right, I'm gonna end this show. Thank you guys, Corey. You're the best.
Dante Hall.
Everyone should be joining up. Die Hard, please do that.
We love you.
Check After Dark tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna be taunting Braggs on the.
And
get after Carman after dark. Tonight.
Yeah, please don't let him continue this slander of Devin Hester, and we'll see you tomorrow.